Everyone's a student of technology. There's always something new to learn or improve upon. Whether I'm teaching students or doing staff training, it's important that my knowledge of educational technology continues to branch out. I'm Michelle Jenkins. I'd like to show you some of the projects I completed during my study of my Master's of Educational Technology degree at Boise State University. I work as a technology teacher in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I teach computer classes to elementary students at 4 small schools surrounding Grand Teton National Park. I visit each of these schools every week. I also do staff training for teachers at all of the schools, and I am the webmaster for the schools. Working in this master's program has given me a well-rounded look at educational technology. I have been able to build up my knowledge of the instructional design process and have the time to study and research the best practices in using technology in classrooms. One of the things I do frequently is to design and create workshops for the faculty at my schools. For one project, I was required to create a task and learner analysis. So I decided to create a workshop that I would probably teach about using digital photos. Instructional design models were completely new to me, and it was challenging to think about how all of these extra elements would fit into the planning of a workshop. Doing a formal analysis of the key tasks involved surveys that analyzed what was going to be taught and the key people in the task workshop. Many parts of the design process call for collecting formal data, using different types of surveys to collect quality and representative data. I did ask colleagues to complete my survey and did find that they rated themselves quite skilled and confident. By taking extra time to see the real picture of participants' prerequisite knowledge, it allowed more time in the workshop for the activity plan to move into more advanced topics. To synthesize the information collected in surveys, the instructional design process requires thorough study of the data, figuring out percentages and creating charts that put all the numbers in easy to understand formats. Doing a learner analysis could give a teacher evidence to present to administrators for adding more curriculum materials or classroom technology. A very important element of the design process is task analysis. This requires very detailed thought into the actions and process of the lessons and assignments you'll be doing. I learned that designing flowcharts of all the learning tasks help to verify that you have planned precisely for everything that will be done in the lesson. A flowchart coincides with the objectives of the unit of study, and each part of the flowchart results in something that the student will learn during the course of the activities. Flowcharts should be very detailed and arranged precisely so that the flow of the chart objects leaves no question about what the learners will be doing and all the learning activities that need to be planned. Having experience and knowledge of formal instructional design mean that I am better at selecting software and applications because I will consider the tasks they can accomplish and the learners who will use them. When I teach, I use a projector and an electronic whiteboard every day. Students learn easier and with less need for repetition when they can easily see, hear, and participate in what they will be learning. Here I am teaching with the Promethean board, and also a clip of me teaching students to add animation in PowerPoint. I'm going to make my words fly, so I click on my words. Then I see this button right here called animation. Okay? Mostly we want to use the green star animations. When you click on a green star, it says words like appear, blinds, checkerboard,
dissolve, fly. So if I click on the letters and I push fly in, the words fly in. If I click peek in, it does a little differently like that. Or if I click shape, it makes a shape when it flies on the screen. Or, let's see, wedge means spin around in a circle like that. There's a bunch of different ones. This one's called expand, which means get bigger. Now, whichever one you pick last, that's the one that's on there. If I like that one, it's on my screen. And look, it even has a little 1 to say that's animation 1.
During the 2 years while I have been working in the master's program, I was able to complete a project to install Promethean board systems in every classroom in all 4 of my schools. It required me to use all of the aspects of Standard 4 management in drawing up installation plans, preparing workflow plans for each classroom, and coordinating with the installer team. I scheduled workshops and trained all the teachers how to use the equipment and how to start integrating this technology into their lessons. With all of these classrooms now having excellent tools for expanded use of visuals, I knew visual literacy was something I should focus on, to learn the best practices for using projected images. I've attended technology conference sessions, but when I started the instructional message design course, I was very excited to get real instruction on creating graphics and the theory and research behind how people learn through visual images. Throughout EdTech 506, the class about instructional message design, we studied the principles of design theory, learning about how your sense of vision and your brain react, depending upon what you see. As we worked through the graphic design elements, I designed different graphics that used each of the design concepts. All of the graphics together make a complete set of visuals that I have put together on this website. My graphic unit contains images that teach about common skills used for the Mac computer system. This image teaches how to create a folder. I use the principle of repetition. The repeated arrow clearly indicates the steps to follow to accomplish the task. This image teaches about the project folder. It's the way students turn in work electronically at my school. The graduated size of each folder shows the flow of ideas. And repetition of the folder shape and arrows show relationships between the folders. Size and repetition are common design elements. Next, this graphic teaches how to use minimize and maximize for windows. The design principle in this graphic is called figure ground. The ground refers to the background, or less important elements, which is this picture of the word processing document. Using this magnification effect, the figure in the image is highlighted, which are the colored dot buttons that you use to minimize and maximize the windows. Figure ground principle is very important for designing visuals that clearly communicate one main idea. This is a graphic I use when I'm teaching students about saving files. Using design elements of symmetry and the repeated color blocks show that all 3 questions have equal importance when you're making decisions about saving something. Next, on this graphic I use chunking to separate important pieces of information. This graphic contains more text than most of my graphics in the graphic picture, but because it's in chunks, the brain processes it more differently and effectively. Also, you notice that there is text directions on each page that tell how to do the tasks that are shown, but my graphics are really decided in a way that allows them to teach themselves. When you make a graphic, color can play a big role. Color draws attention to things, makes text hard or easy to read, and sometimes color sets a mood or feeling. In this graphic, I wanted to use color to tell the story. By using these photos that explain horizontal and vertical within the context of the picture, I use color to direct attention and isolate the main idea. On all of the graphics, I added this character, the green bubble guy, to make a connection from page to page. It's appealing to children, and it makes this technical information feel more friendly. I designed all of these graphics specifically to be projected in large form on the Promethean board, and made sure that the resolution and the size were optimized so everyone in my class could see it and read it easily. Studying graphic design and visual literacy has strengthened my ability to create visuals that have impact. It's also made a big difference on my teaching methods. I have had a lot of positive feedback from students when I teach with these graphics, and I have recorded increased learning and retention of skills from one class to the next. I made this website using CSS style sheets in Dreamweaver. I'm really pleased that I had the opportunity to learn web design and HTML programming. I think it's really important that technology specialists have some knowledge about how websites and the internet function. Throughout the master's program, I applied these skills in making several other websites. I am also the web manager for my schools. Even though the school websites are hosted with content management interface, I can access the HTML code now, the administrator areas, and understand how it all operates because of the skills I learned in my Boise State courses. Developing and utilizing websites are critically important to me as a technology educator, and especially since so much of education is transitioning to online platforms. Finally, I'd like to report on the grant I wrote and was awarded during EdTech 551 class on grant writing and technical writing. By completing that class, it helped me to earn a certificate of school technology coordination. For my main project, I decided to apply for the Lowe's Toolbox for Education grant. I've written small grants before, but studying the entire process of writing a large-scale grant provided me with resources that I will use to pursue future funding sources. We have a school garden at my school that I manage, so my grant application proposed to build a shaded seating area in the garden to be used for garden activities, class projects, and a great place for creative writing. Also, I'm adding technology to our garden by installing solar lights into our really dark garden shed. I went through the process of planning the project, collecting bids, and working with community volunteers who designed and built the pergola with me. I set up objectives and created a workflow timeline. I did receive funding for the project, and a representative from Lowe's came to our school for a ceremony. Through this course, I also learned about publicizing grant projects. The newspaper did a feature story on our project, and I created a website. As an educational leader, it is really important to share and publicize the accomplishments that happen in school with the community. We totally enjoyed using our new outdoor classroom this fall and can't wait for the snow to melt. Working on writing grants not only benefited my school community, but also gave me more experience in the administrative tasks of being a technology leader.